we get back to stories, because I actually found a bacon story.
Sweet.
In between trying to fix my internet and things, and yeah. Twilight eats bacon.
Ooh, really?
Well,
is it 8 bacon?
I think it's like real bacon. It was just one of those things, we were talking, and I'm like, hey, we should see if there are some, and then bam. And it's kind of weird, but not all that bad, and maybe. It's weird. And I think you gave it a quick read as well, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, just being like the last line alone, it's just like, yep. This is weird enough for me to say, yeah, let's do this.
Alrighty. So, we have a narrator, we have Twilight, and we have Kevin.
Kevin, forgive me!
So, does that mean Fanny wants to be Kevin?
Sure, I'll take up narrating.
I will try to be Twilight.
This would be fun.
Books!
Okay.
Books!
Oh god. Get some helium or something. Alright. Oh god. Alright. You all ready?
I believe so.
Okay. Over bacon, under bacon. My Little Pony. Friendship is bacon. In the beginning, there was bacon, and it was good. Twilight opened her eyes for a final time before hopping out of bed and heading out of her room. She smelled something interesting, and she wanted to figure out what it was. As she entered her kitchen, Twilight's eyes opened to their full width. Something had happened. The walls around Twilight was now reddish-brown, with streaks of white all over them. And if this wasn't enough for her to worry about, there was an odd smell, unlike anything Twilight had smelled before. And she liked it.
Oh.
It was a salty smell, with deeper aromas surrounding it on all sides. It was almost indescribable, except that it smelt good. Not good like fresh hay fries or good like a soft perfume, no. This was a different layer of good from that. This must be the smell of heaven itself. It must be the smell of the afterlife. It was just that heavenly. And then Twilight understood. She had died while she was asleep, and now she was experiencing the glorious afterlife, complete with odd-looking, great-smelling walls, floors, and ceilings. Twilight was almost certain of it. Almost. After smelling the walls a few more times for good measure, Twilight magicked open her front door and stepped outside, only to find that the entire world around her had now changed into this odd material. There were no ponies around her, and if she were still alive, she would have seen Spike when she woke up. This must really be the afterlife. And Twilight was glad. Glad to be able to take in the sense of heaven. Yes, an eternity here would be good. Twilight walked further down the street, looking around as an attempt to find something that wasn't made of the wonderful material she had discovered. And that's when she saw him, the one who must be God. I believe this is Kevin.
Hello, young pony.
The immortal being shouted, his voice echoing across the land and shaking the reddish-brown stuff.
Hello?
Twilight said.
Are you a ruler of this place?
Why, yes, young pony. I am the great king of bacon, Kevin.
The magnificent great king of bacon said with the resounding voice of a magnificent great king of bacon.
Hey, am I dead, sir?
Twilight asked.
Yeah, babe, I'm afraid you are. That's fine, though. It's all chill up here in the land of bacon,
Kevin said.
And what exactly is this bacon?
Twilight asked, curious about what bacon was.
Why, bacon is the most beautiful thing in existence, darling. Here, try a piece.
Kevin said as he pulled a freshly roasted piece of the good-smelling reddish brown, a little bit white stuff from off of his back.
I'm not sure I want to eat that.
Twilight said as she slowly backed away, kind of really freaked out that the stuff had been stuck to Kevin's back.
Aw, trust me, babe. You really do want to try this.
Said Southern Kevin as he put the pieces of the stuff into his own mouth and began to chew viciously.
No. No. I think I really don't.
Twilight giggled as she began to use her magic to wrap the creepy bacon god in his own bacon.
Not my own bacon? You wouldn't. Not after everything I've done for you.
Yes.
Kevin said from an old 90s Disney movie.
Yes, I would. You're really kind of pretty flippin' crazy, sir.
Said Private Twilight in the voice of the magical tiny purple horse that she was. And that was that. Kevin's head disappeared under the bacon that he loved so dearly, and Twilight didn't have to listen to his words anymore. But then the bacon around Kevin exploded because Kevin was invincible and awesome, and he jumped towards Twilight and set the ripe strip of fresh bacon down into her smug purple face. Then, with an evil smile, Kevin chuckled before saying,
You like bacon now, don't you?
Yes, I do.
said Twilight on crack. She grabbed 75 more strips of the succulent grease sticks and shoved them into her mouth, tasting the true taste of epicnicity and yum.
Well, since you like bacon now...
Kevin began in his southern accent once more.
No.
Twilight burped between her never-ending mouth stuffing. I think Kevin died from a heart attack.
You're ad-libbing this. Okay. Bacon is fried strips of pig butt.
What? Right here says that yes, I just thought you might want to know that. Wait.
Oh. It's so funny I skipped.
Yep.
I just thought you might want to know that.
Kevin continued losing his place on the page and finding it once more, obviously building up to something big.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse asked, Twilight asked, anticipating that thing that she knew Kevin would say that would likely be surprising and completely unexpected.
Bacon is fried strips of pig butt,
said Southern Kevin as he shouted with all of his bacony voice. After a few moments of utter silence, Twilight was the first to speak.
YOLO! Bacon be good!
She said in a southern accent. And that's when Kevin revealed his big secret.
I'm secretly Fluttershy, and I eat animals because they taste good.
Said American Kevin, who had this whole time secretly been Fluttershy, said.
I don't care, I like bacon!
Said Private Twilight.
What?
I said... Oh, wait, yeah, there's too many quotes.
Oh, yeah. What? I said I'm Fluttershy. No, I'm secretly an evil meat eater. I'm a carnivore, Twilight.
Over dramatic, Fluttershy said. And Twilight had stopped listening to the yellow smudge on the ground because she couldn't quite hear it anymore, now that she was way up in the sky.
Twilight? You're kind of getting really, really fat. And I don't think you're gonna get that big. Oh, and I don't think you're supposed to get that big. You may want to stop eating bacon now.
Said the buzzkill Fluttershy. But it was too late. Twilight had failed to realize that bacon is made of pure helium, and she had already started floating away, like a massive bacon-filled hairy purple balloon with a horn that she was. And as much as her friend cried and shouted, she secretly knew that Twilight couldn't hear her, and never would hear her again. And the purple blob of the horn floated far, far away and ate the clouds, which were also bacon, before eating the rocks in the sky, which were also bacon, before getting stuck in the orbit of a star. And that's how Earth was formed, boys and girls. Now that it's snack time here at Miss Gets Arrested for telling really creepy stories to minor school, what's the bacon? Miss Gets Arrested for telling really creepy stories to minors asked. And somewhere in a galaxy far, far away, a giant floating hairy meatball named Kevin said...
Kevin!
Me! My mic was muted.
Oh Lord.
And the author's note says, I have sinned. Really, really sinned.
Ugh.
What did we just read?
I don't-
Blood was magic.
I couldn't keep a straight face.
I could tell both of you were snickering the entire time.
I tried really hard to hold like some weird pitch, and I couldn't because I lost it while laughing.
I want to point out that White Oak has brought this to our attention. Kevin Bacon.
Ah, that's clever.
That is.